Welcome, everyone, to Midwest Horror Network's October 2020 special, where we talk about all of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes. And in true Treehouse of Horror fashion, this episode is debuting in November.
Thank you, baseball.
Thank you, baseball.
Thanks, World Series.
It's over, bro. It's over. Game over, man.
It's over. We finally made it to the 31st episode. 31 days in October, going into overtime because of baseball. We did it. This is our 31st episode until we do 32 next year.
Oh, God.
You die, Brandon.
We're not doing that. We are definitely not doing
I
that.
draw the line. This episode sucked. We're not doing another one.
And by the way, just for context, we've been working on this since, what, July?
Since the summer.
Since the summer. So this has been a long time coming. It was a hard effort on
If we're going to
all
do
of us.
anything next year, it's going to be Family Guy related.
Let's just get right into it. So the intro for this episode is kind of interesting. It opens up on Election Day 2020, November 3rd. They have the polling place at the school, and they have the senior citizens running the, I guess, what do you call it? The organization of the
Voter count.
voter count there. Thank you, Mark. And everybody's wearing masks because of COVID and all that. And Marge calls Homer because Homer is asleep on the hammock, and she says, "Homer, you need to go vote today." And Homer's like, "Oh, that was today?" And she says, "If you have any decency, you'll vote to protect the three things you love most." And there's a thought bubble appears above Homer, and it's like a dancing donut, pretzel, and beer. Marge asks him, "Are you picturing the three kids?" "Oh, yeah, sure." So then Homer goes to the polling place, and he rushes into the booth, and he knows who he's going to choose for all the judges and all the other categories, like we all do, of course, because we all researched all the names for the judges.
I literally had to Wikipedia like 3 people while I was in the voting booth.
You can do that?
Yeah, I actually
Okay.
did do that.
At least you made sure you were informed.
Within the
Which can be said.
Or misinformed.
It was Wikipedia.
It's a fair point.
It was their biography page. They're the ones who edit it. So
Not all the time.
yeah, I don't know.
I could go and edit it right now.
Yeah.
Remember in school?
Oh, that was you.
Remember in class when they used to teach you? Yeah, Wikipedia is not a valuable source or whatever.
Well, yeah, David's going to work on editing those pages during this podcast recording for us.
Yep.
So, yeah, so he doesn't know who he wants to vote for president, though. And Lisa comes into the voting booth for some reason and says, "Dad, how can you even be not knowing who you want to vote for president? Don't you remember all that's happened over the last 4 years?" And then this whole list of stuff that Trump has done over the last 4 years, it starts scrolling.
How do we know
up.
it's Trump, though?
Yeah, they never say
never say it.
They never
Yeah.
state who
But
it is.
it's pretty obvious.
But I
It's
wonder
pretty
who it
obvious.
is. Oh, I think that's a big shocker.
Like, does anybody really have any other person that they can put in there?
No.
It's
Just
obvious.
said the last 4 years.
It's pretty obvious, but yeah, Homer is reading the list backwards as it's revealed from a reverse shot of it, because we think only we as the audience are seeing the list, but no, he's seeing it himself as well. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that was funny. That one was made up. Ooh, that was bad. That was pretty bad too." And he's just sort of commenting.
That one was
on
fake
them.
news.
Yeah, I think he said that at one point.
Yeah.
And then he says something has to be done. So Homer's going to choose his candidate, and the ballot is showing Kang and Kodos and Alexa.
Bitch is listening.
Brennan's trying not to activate his actual.
It activated.
His actual machine.
It activated.
That shall not be named. That's in the general vicinity.
It activated.
Uncle Bezos is always listening.
Right.
How much money would you like to give me today?
And so Homer makes his selection, but we don't see who it was. But he wakes up in his hammock. He fell asleep. He did not vote. And Marge shows up and she's like, how can you not vote? And Homer says, how bad could it be? Flash forward to Inauguration Day, 2021. Everything is on fire. There are these robots that look like that one thing from RoboCop.
Yeah,
Just sort of marching around, and one of them stomps on Hans Moleman's glasses, and Hans Moleman says, "You owe me a new pair of glasses," but it just kicks him out of the air, and you hear Hans Moleman shout, "That's what I get for voting for Kanye." And then the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse show up: war, pestilence, famine, and one sporting the title of this episode, Treehouse of Horror 31.
It's funny how death is missing, but the title has been replaced.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt. I wish they were more balanced in the opening. I know where, comedies you should never see where, too much on where somebody's opinions lie.
This one doesn't bother me as much as others for a few reasons. Like, they have done jokes about political elections before where it's been kind of obvious who they're after. And also, Simpsons is kind of credited with being the original predictor of Trump's presidency.
Well, sure.
So if you ask me, it would have been awkward for them not to handle something like this.
Fair enough. I think that I think the Bob Dole and Bill Clinton one was way better.
Yeah, no, totally. It was better. This is
and-
still amusing, but what I'm saying is, it just would have been felt. It would have felt weird if they didn't do anything with the Trump presidency.
Fair enough.
On this election.
No,
Because,
like
I said, they did predict him. We did get the Ivanka 2028.
It was funny.
What was it? 4 years ago now.
It was 4 years ago. Yeah.
I was kind of expecting them to do
Yeah,
something like
so
this.
yeah, it would have been weird if they didn't follow it
Yeah.
up. Because if there's any year to follow it up with something, it would have been this one.
Fair enough. It was okay.
Yeah, it was amusing. Can't say the same about story number 1, Toy Gory, instead of Toy Story. David.
Gee, how fucking original.
Zach, it's David's turn.
You're right, David.
David.
Have fun, buddy.
Good luck.
Oh, God. Well, obviously, a parody of Toy Story. Actually, one thing that I do agree on is Family Guy kind of did it better with the Randy Newman singing throughout the episode or segments.
I would say South Park holds
Oh,
the
yeah.
title
Yeah,
for
South
Randy
Park too.
Newman spoofs.
But
I was gonna say nothing. There's no funnier Randy Newman joke than when James Cameron's just diving, trying to raise the bar, and he sees Randy Newman down there, and he's just like, "Fuck you, Randy! I'll send you straight to hell, you son of a bitch!"
Dude, the one of the Family Guy was pretty fucking funny though. Yeah, the bat toys.
Yeah.
The bat toys.
And actually, The Simpsons has done a better Randy Newman spoof before. It was the one... Zach, remember when Marcus came over a few months back and we were watching all the filmmaking-related episodes for The Simpsons?
I do. I just don't remember Randy Newman in it.
Well, there was the one where Bart was doing Angry Dad, the movie. Angry Dad being Bart's internet cartoon from many seasons prior.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
it was nominated for Best Animated Short in the show, and they went up against a Mixar cartoon. And while they're on the red carpet, the Mixar team has their own Randy Newman there, who's singing "You've Made an Enemy," and just like threatening Bart. So yeah, even The Simpsons has done Randy Newman.
Yeah, I find this hilarious. Like everyone did it better, including The Simpsons.
Family Guy also do the left foot, right foot, left foot, or like the grabbing of the apple as well. Like, Family Guy's done a bunch of them.
Life's a bug, and everything that's talk about.
All right, now this is getting as annoying as the Randy Newman song. David, continue.
Yeah, this spoof like rolled my eyes out. It's like, well, we're doing a Toy Story parody, so we have to do this, and it's just.
I'll just interrupt you one more time. The song wasn't really mixed well either.
No.
Like, I did not understand a single lyric.
Marge comes in. Bart's in his room. He's packing something up, and
His toys for charity.
His toys for charities. She's asking him if he finished yet, and he's like, "Yeah, just about finished." So as soon as she leaves, he grabs the toy soldiers, like the little green army men that you traditionally get in the dollar store packs or whatever. Puts them in a blender and pretty much grinds them and blends them up into
Pours
like a
them
liquid.
down Homer's mouth.
Yep, and then he pours it down Homer's mouth while he's sleeping on the hammock, which is so essentially he's being Sid from Toy Story if you've watched it. So he's pretty much torturing his toys. He's blowing them up. He grabs one and takes a belt sander to like the doll in the garage. And Homer like walks up and then starts slowly backing up. That was kind of fucked up, to say the least. And then I guess he gets his early birthday gift, right?
Yep.
And it's Radioactive Man. He loves it. So I guess it's supposed to be like the Buzz Lightyear of Toy Story. He punches out of the friggin' box and is like, oh my god, I'm into this nice little world. But doesn't he like actually detect like radiation?
Yeah, so it's the new Radioactive Man action figure with real radiation.
Jesus Christ.
And it has the warning, keep away from scrotum. And he asks Grandpa Simpson, where's your scrotum? I think it's in my underpants.
No, he's like, it's in my other pants.
Yeah.
Not underpants, other pants.
He said other pants?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
he's
said
in his other pants.
Underpants.
No.
It works either way.
Yeah.
Does it?
Sure. With Grandpa Simpson? Yeah.
Nah.
Coming from
Continue.
anybody else? No.
Fair enough.
Continue.
Yeah. So as soon as he punches out of the his box, Krusty's like, yeah, you're not gonna enjoy your time here. He is a monster and pretty much is scared the Jack in the Box from coming out. The box of toys pretty much fall over, and you have the non-Tickle Me Elmo or
A tickled out, tickle me Elmo, an overstretched Stretch Armstrong,
Yeah.
headless Malibu Stacy. I think there were some others in there.
which was kind of cool. Like there was like one moment while he was torturing the toys, he had the Armstrong attached to his like window and into Homer's car, and then overstretched and then pulled the car into the room.
A lot of collateral damage there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, goes to show you how strong those things were actually were. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Ben Stiller and Adam Scott even got into a fight with one in Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
really,
Yeah. You wouldn't know because you, along with everybody else, didn't see the movie
No.
based on the box office performance.
I actually saw it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Good for
it
you.
was actually an enjoyable movie. Just nobody saw it.
Nope.
no, I didn't see it. Bart grabs Radioactive Man and pretty much puts him in the microwave. Puts it on for like 2 minutes, and then Lisa comes and grabs him, and they head out for something.
No, it was
Freezing.
Homer was like, a mail truck dumped
Yeah,
a bunch of
dumped a
mail.
bunch
Now
of
there's
mail.
mail blowing everywhere.
Which is like I didn't get, but whatever. I thought they were gonna like reference like missing ballots or something
That's
like
what
that.
Just like,
But
are those ballots?
All right, so I wasn't the only one.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
didn't
Okay,
go that
so
way.
we all just silently agree that those are mail-in ballots.
yeah, so it didn't.
See, that would have been funny as hell.
Yeah.
The it
But-
would have been. It wouldn't have been fucking silence in this room.
Obviously,
watching this episode.
obviously, it didn't come back, and it was just there. Didn't make sense. It wasn't funny.
Maybe they had that joke in there originally, but the network cut it or something.
Oh,
I could see that.
that would
Yeah.
that would be disappointing.
Fucking Disney.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody keeps forgetting about that.
Yeah, how do you think they got that? How do you think they got Randy Newman to do a shitty musical for this?
I don't think they got the real Randy Newman.
Well, he sounds just as terrible.
You're part of the Disney family now.
Oh God.
Continue.
So yeah, Radioactive Man is pretty much melting from the inside, and Marge heads into the kitchen to grab something, and then the microwave pretty much explodes, and for some reason, what she grabs like wine is like what
It's
did she
wine
say?
time.
It's one time. It's one time.
And just chugs an entire bottle.
Deal with this shit.
And then so the toys finally, had enough, kind of like when Toy Story 1, where they pretty much revolted and, tried to scare Sid because they cannot stand their owner. Essentially, instead of scaring Bart like, Sid was in Toy Story 1, they choose to pretty much kidnap him and pretty much rip him into pieces and turn him into an actual toy.
Bart's just like pleading for his life, and he's like, if I knew you had feelings, I wouldn't have hurt you. And then Milhouse climbs up and it's like, I have feelings, but you still hurt me. Milhouse, you're with them? They have Puppy Goo Goo. And then Puppy Goo Goo Toys is like, I ran away from you, you loser. Which, if you're a long watcher of The Simpsons, that's kind of like, okay, that's kind of amusing, but eh.
Yeah.
And then as they were dragging Bart out, you got a weird like Turner Classic Movies thing on the TV.
The one joke that I laughed at.
Which was that one?
That was the one where they made like something about, hey, we can't go into this neighborhood because of this.
Because of the Irish or something.
Because of the Irish or something. And
It's
it's like
TCM host. Well, we're not showing that movie anymore.
Oh, that's right.
TMC showing nothing. And I was like, all right, that's pretty funny.
But yeah, they turned Bart essentially to a toy. For some reason, his parents take him to the doctor. I don't know why.
Yeah.
He's dead.
I did think it was kind of funny the way that they put like one of those like toy needle things in front of his face, and you see like him going from like shock to just outright screaming, and then the Etch-a-Sketch blocks our view with nothing to see.
Yeah,
here.
Malibu Stacy doll kind of
Yeah.
sticks a knife through his head.
Oh, it's Dr. Malibu Stacy.
Doctor.
She specializes in plastic surgery.
Die. Fucking die. No. No, that was terrible.
It was pretty terrible.
Another thing I rolled my eyes at, like after like Dr. Hibbert shows Marge and Homer the X-rays. Like here's what they replaced his bones with like
Tinker Toys.
and his brain
was silly putty.
and then Homer grabs it and eats it, and being Homer, and it's like, I think after 31 episodes, I think I'm tired of seeing that. Him just eating random fucking.
See Treehouse 17 for my thoughts on Homer just randomly eating things that aren't food.
Yeah.
This episode sucked.
I mean, it's better than him pretty much using him as an ingredient, but, I digress.
I liked that they went the extra mile and actually did the 3D animation.
Oh, that's right. They
Yeah.
animated it 3D. We forgot to point that out, but it's so insignificant at this point that it's like, whatever.
And it felt stiff. It felt
I see what you did there.
No, like just the sound design felt pretty empty in this one, especially for being a Pixar spoof.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where probably my biggest disappointment is. You actually have a pretty good idea, and when you call it Toy Gory, they did not follow up on the gory.
No.
Not really.
At all.
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing.
And it's like with Bart torturing toys and then toys turning him into a toy, you can do so much with that, but they didn't.
No.
Yeah, tremendous amount that they could have done with that. And if this is one of those segments that if it wasn't for that TMC joke, this would be a time refund episode or segment.
I don't even think that TMC joke was good enough.
It's forgettable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already...
If you wouldn't have mentioned it, I wouldn't...
It wasn't a bad joke. I actually liked the joke, but that would have easily fit into a regular episode.
Yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally fine. But yeah, I'm down. That's the only thing keeping it from the rating of completely forgettable to time refund.
Yeah.
For me, that's the only difference. But yeah, overall, this is pretty bad.
Yeah, there was nothing fun about this one. Just like, again, props to doing a 3D animation. Whenever you do that, just good on the animation team and all that. But other than that, this was not fun to watch.
Yeah,
It wasn't what I expected with the title. For this segment, that title was actually gorier than the whole segment.
Yeah,
could have been
Yeah.
fun.
I was like, all right, when Bart's sanding down that one toy, show like a tear show up in it. It's like really amp up just how demented Bart is to his toys.
Sure.
Sometimes I feel like they're just afraid to go that extra distance. And I wonder if that has anything to do with Disney buying them out.
I do wonder that.
Yeah.
But even still, and we talked about this in, I think, 29. It's weird how sometimes they will go violent and then other years they won't.
They're just entirely inconsistent with that.
Yeah.
It makes no
and
goddamn sense.
For me, it's like when you actually call it Toy Gory, it's part of the title.
Make it fucking gory.
And I realize it's you're not going to push past TV 14 for The Simpsons, but even for that, like they've pushed the boundaries on
Plenty of
The
times.
Simpsons plenty of times.
Yeah.
Plenty of times. And then this
like I don't need a slasher movie here, but when you call it Toy Gore, it's like I've seen them amp up the violence before, and I really think they should have done it.
No, I agree. And I think that this is going to be relegated to a very middle of the road, forgettable episode that.
I wouldn't even call it middle of the road. I just call it straight up forgettable.
Well, I mean, like
It's disappointing.
I literally rate them on when I say middle of the road. I mean forgettable. Like they like in the middle, you either get bad on one side, really really bad on one side, or really really good on the other side, and then in the middle, it's forgettable.
Yeah, this is one of their probably more missed opportunities for this episode out of the 3 segments we've watched.
Yeah,
Like this one was more close to like a Halloween episode that, could have been.
could have been something, but it was not.
Could have been something, but it was nothing.
The yeah, no, I agree.
Especially like I agree with
Yeah.
Brandon, like the sound design here was just like so basic and plain. It was like
I'm gonna go back to what you said in previous episodes when we started talking about the sound design.
yeah, it's
Then
Yeah.
we've reached the bottom of
Yeah.
we've reached the bottom floor. On
I
this one.
think this is a good opportunity to move on to the next segment, which was also boring and forgettable. Mark,
All right. Good luck, Mark. You're telling us about story number 2, Into the Homerverse.
Talk about another missed.
You're on your own.
It's
you're on your own.
oh yeah.
Dude, talk about another missed opportunity for some good stuff that just did not land at all. Okay, so Homer, it's Halloween night. Homer is working and he is doing what he usually does. He's fallen asleep in the security booth with a shit ton of candy, which is how we find Brandon most times when he wakes up, with a bunch of candy wrappers
Candy
around
combo.
him.
When has that ever
Look
happened?
right there. There's
There-
a bunch of Reese's wrappers sitting on this counter.
We're having
Those
an
aren't mine.
intervention
I'm
right
holding
now.
for a friend.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
Yeah, okay.
All right, guys, hold on. We're having an intervention right now. Brandon, you have a fucking problem.
I do not
Okay.
have a problem. Just for that, nobody helped Mark out with a story.
Yeah, have fun, buddy.
So anyway, Homer is surrounded by candy, falling asleep. Marge calls him up and says, "Hey Homer, it's Halloween. Where the hell are you? And why we need candy at the house?" And he's like, "Who ate all this candy? I'm gonna check the footage." And then he runs to the footage and discovers that he not only ate all the candy, took a fucking nap, woke up again, ate some more fucking candy, then woke up again, got taken away by the paramedics because he had he went into insulin shock, and then got brought back from the paramedics, fell asleep again, woke up, ate a Thanksgiving turkey for some reason because it is November. And that's weird too because Thanksgiving doesn't count. It's already Christmas.
True.
And then he falls asleep again. Then he throws up twice, and then wakes up again, and then he says, "Holy shit! Who ate all the candy?" And then he said, "That's unfortunate." So he's running around the power plant looking for a vending machine that'll work, and they have one vending machine with Tums in it, and
Advil.
Advil.
Oh,
No,
I'm
wait,
sorry.
we're not supposed to help him.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the free one.
Everybody gets one.
Thanks, Spider-Man. So he gets Advil from the vending machine and imagines what it would be like to actually pass that out to the neighborhood bullies, and they fucking burn his house down because he got it. Which, I mean, according to Chief Wiggum, that is an appropriate response. It's not trick or treat, it is the law, so you're probably good. I did like it though that one of them was dressed up as Hellraiser, a Pinhead. Thank you. My brain,
You get
my
one.
my Rolodex wasn't working in my head. So yes, my Rolodex. I went old school.
Just keep going.
So anyway, Homer goes ahead and runs to a vending machine that's clearly not a fucking vending machine, but it kind of looks like a vending machine, and he fucks with it a little bit, and then a bunch of Homer verses come out, one at a time. One of them was a Hanna-Barbera one, which I was like, that's stupid and random, but more stupid. And then of course, in true Disney fashion, Disney Princess Homer showed up. In a giant pumpkin.
Because you have to Disney up the Simpsons now.
Of course, because that makes sense. And then a couple other different Homers show up. I think we had Detective Homer, Anime Homer, Anime Japanese.
That was actually
Exactly.
kind of funny.
Exactly. And then we also had poorly rendered animated Homer.
8-bit Homer.
I was just going to
8-bit
say, I
Homer.
call it 8-bit
8-bit
Homer.
Homer. Yeah.
and
Stop
then
helping him!
And what was the other one? I think there was one more.
There were
that-
6.
No air.
It was just regular
Detective.
Noir.
Simpsons Noir,
Detective Noir.
8-bit, Princess, Anime,
And then
Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera. So And I guess they all get together and go on adventures. They wreak havoc throughout the town. And then they eventually come back to back home. Marge gives them breakfast. Then everyone's collective eye-rolling motion went so far that all of our eyes rolled out of our fucking heads when it got to the singing portion of the episode where the Disney princess says, "You're pretty, you should sing more because people listen to you." And then she sings about...
To be fair, that is kind of the Disney princess way.
That is very true. I'm gonna... A lot of those songs wouldn't work if those princesses weren't cute. The Part of Your World wouldn't really work out that well with a overweight Ariel.
Not for their time.
Also, let it be known that Mark is into animated women.
Don't judge me. She was a redhead. And I was 10.
She had
I
a
didn't know any
fishtail.
better.
I haven't seen Futurama. It doesn't end well if she has a fishtail and you don't.
Fucking
True.
love that episode. If it was Ursula out there singing "Part of Your World," it wouldn't really be that successful.
Right.
So anyway,
wrap this up. David's on a time limit.
I guess Mr. Burns becomes involved at some point, and he unleashes a bunch of different multiverse Burns, and they fight, and all the Homers lose, and then Mr. Burns sucks all of the other Homers into the universe. And yay, Smithers won, I guess. Or I'm sorry, Burns won. Yay. And then it cuts back to the house where Marge is like, well, the only Homer that I'm in love with is the one I got. And then it turns out it's Noir Homer. And that was it. That's the fucking episode. Overall, really another boring episode and actually I would dare to say it's probably even worse than the other one.
I agree.
The first episode because, well, first of all, wasted opportunity, and then secondly, there were far more eye-rolling moments in this than there were at anything else.
You know, Disney has to be the worst company on the face of the earth. You Disneyfied Marvel, you Disneyfied Star Wars, fuck you, Kennedy! And you Disneyfied fucking Simpsons.
Yeah. When you have Zach defending The Simpsons
This
fucking
this
Disney.
is where we've landed.
Like,
This is where we're at.
God, you know what? That's probably why Family Guy sucks too, because they're Disneyfying Family Guy. Fuck you.
yeah.
Well, to be perfectly honest, Family Guy and Simpsons have been going downhill for the last 5-6 years. Without Disney's help.
Yeah.
Getting back to this story, though, like for me, what makes it worse than the first one is this had no story. I liked the designs of the different Homers. I liked the setup with the candy. That was amusing. But, okay, at least Toy Gory had like an A to B to C plot. You understand the plot progression, and it wasn't exciting, it wasn't fun, but you at least understand what the beginning, middle, and end is. This is like, okay, we have a beginning, and now we have different Homers, and they had no idea what to actually do with that plot. So here's Kent Brockman giving a recap of all the different things that they're doing. And now Lisa is pointing out a whole tear in the space-time continuum that was never brought up until this moment.
Yeah. This is also around.
And then Mr. Burns' reasoning for sucking all of the Burns and Smithers and Homers back into the machine are because in one of the universes, he was Smithers' assistant.
Sure.
Because that had a lot to do with everything that came before it.
Here's one thing that, two things I'm tired of seeing for the 31 episodes that we've done already. One, I'm tired of seeing multiple or different versions of Homer. And two, I'm tired of them referencing, this is what happens with multiple Homers. They eat everything. We already know that. We have established that many, many times.
And that
Give
goes
us
back
something
to
else.
what I've said is, if you go back to Golden Age Simpsons, there's so much more to Homer's character.
Yeah.
That nobody just wants to even acknowledge. It's like nobody wants to acknowledge that the good days of The Simpsons were a thing. It's like nobody's striving to go back to who these characters actually are. It's they just want to be jerk-ass Homer or what people think the cliche Homer is.
Yeah.
It's like it's written by people who have no sense of where this show actually came from.
Yeah, the people at Disney.
I'm tired of the cliche Homer. I just like give us something.
Zach's
else.
probably right.
It probably. Well, dude, hold on. There's a lot of truth to the saying "fat, dumb, and happy." Simpsons are fat, dumb, and happy. They don't have to be innovative or creative. They're the Simpsons. They're going to get the audience no matter what. Like that, and until the audience starts to dissipate, it's not going to change. So like that's the thing. The audience will always come because of the brand, because of what it's built up. People will still keep buying Simpsons shirts and Simpsons shit and watching Simpsons episodes, and the advertisers will still keep coming. Simpsons has no reason to put any effort in because they're nowhere near being dying, and they have no competition.
But with these Treehouse episodes, it should be different because this is their time to experiment, right?
100%.
But they're just not really doing that. They're just giving us the same kind of shit over and over.
Absolutely. Well,
it's like you could do a lot with different universe Homers. And it's like that's as far as they got with the idea, and they just threw together Acts 2 and 3 for this story.
But it's always the same thing with these Homers. It's here we go. They're running through town and they're just eating everything, and we're having trouble feeding them. It's like
that joke from the Halloween episode of Simpsons is starting to become more and more fucking true. Where Homer, they were talking about is this another episode of Treehouse Horror? Nah, we're doing that next week. People seem to like we're gonna do this and that. People seem to like them. Whatever. And that joke is
the literal mentality.
Exactly, 100%. And it's unfortunate that we have to reach 31 episodes and be talking shit about it because we did put a lot of work into it. But unfortunately, it's a decline. It's not an incline. It's not. It's not going anywhere innovative or interesting. It's just gonna keep rehashing the same shit. Which, dude, have the Simpsons become a fucking allegory for Hollywood? Why do anything new when you could just keep making a shit ton
We're
of money?
in the era of we're watching the Halloween specials for the intros, because the intros seem to be the best part in these last handful of Treehouses.
But even this intro was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was. Hey, we're edgy, we're hip, we're with the times. Remember, we're funny is what's popular right now. Instead of just being broadly funny, but we're gonna make sure we're nice and popular with everybody. You know what? Reno 911 is funny as fuck because it's challenged the status quo. It said outlandish shit. It was edgy. You went, I don't know where the fuck this is going. And The Simpsons in some cases used to be like that. And they used to do edgy shit. Now it's become middle of the road milquetoast bullshit. And I don't know where I became Zach in this conversation. Hating on the fucking Simpsons, but it's kind of the fucking truth, And then you get a substandard fucking product.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about this second story. So, yeah, and David, I know you're on a time limit here. So, Zach, let's get into story 3, B9 Rewind.
Lisa turns 9 and it's an Edge of Tomorrow spoof.
Nope.
It may as well be.
It's actually a spoof of a Netflix show called Russian Doll.
It's an Edge of Tomorrow spoof. Nobody knows what Russian Doll is.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was. It wouldn't be until you reminded me. Like that, I wouldn't have.
I watched 2 episodes, and the only reason I know that is because they use the same freaking song at the beginning of this segment. And I've only watched 2 episodes of Russian Doll. A lot of people say it's great.
I couldn't get through 1 episode.
I watched 2 because pilots have a tendency to always not be as good as the rest of the series, and I just don't find the characters interesting in this one.
It's boring.
Yeah.
It's a very boring show.
Yeah.
Well, this episode was the only slightly interesting or entertaining episode. It's Lisa's birthday. She keeps dying over and over again. Nelson's joining her on this crusade. They keep dying, rinsing, repeating, trying to figure out how the hell they're going to, stop all this. They go talk to Comic Book Guy. And, he tells them, all the places where this spoof has been done.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, Groundhog Day, Star Trek, The Search for Whales. I didn't even know that was the plot of that one. Edge of Tomorrow, of course.
It is the plot.
And yeah, then they go kill some dude in a car, and then the whole thing's over.
Yeah, that's
actually.
That's it. That covers it.
This one actually did have some good moments.
There were some funny deaths, but
the through line for the plot, it's just kind of like, okay, killing Gil. Yes, Gil is the one in the car that originally ran over Lisa, but there was nothing to indicate that he was the reason for the time.
I was going to say, I didn't even see that.
Except at the very beginning when he ran her over.
No, all I saw was the car. That's it.
It was in like the second one when she put
Nelson.
It was
whatever
Millhouse in front of the car. That's when you see that it was Gil.
I didn't even notice him then. Yeah, I was tuned out by that point. I was just whatever. Yeah, this segment was all right. You know, it was the best of the three, but that's not saying much when the other two segments are fucking terrible.
There were some amusing deaths.
The air conditioning one got a chuckle out of me.
I liked the knives.
Knives was fun.
I like most of them.
There was actually some violence.
The only funny one I thought was the wood chipper one.
Yeah, the wood chipper one was.
There was a better alternative. Why the fuck didn't you tell me?
Yeah, there isn't much to say about segment 3.
No, I mean
it's Edge of Tomorrow or the Russian doll show that sucks. Whatever.
I mean that's pretty much what it is. I mean, and again with a few funny deaths. You know, the knives, the wood chipper was fun. The air conditioning, cinder block. You know, all that stuff was. I mean, it was fun, but you know, besides that, but I've seen it done before.
Yeah.
Like it's going back to what you said. It's the same old hat trick. Like I mean, how many times are we gonna do this?
This one was actually almost there. Like I said, it was amusing. It's just it made some leaps in logic to get to where it was going.
Yeah, like it jumped.
It's like Lisa's like, I learned that you need to enjoy the day because tomorrow's not guaranteed, and I'm just like, is that what this was about? Is that what you needed to learn? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
Move on.
All right. Okay, so funniest moment of the episode.
Lisa, whatever the hell is no fat bully haha guy just in a wood chipper.
I'm gonna have to go with the air conditioning.
I'm gonna go with the knives and how they just kind of bounce from Nelson's head and then to Lisa's head. It's kind of hard to describe, but if you've seen it, it's like just how the knives bounce and kill those two is pretty funny.
Actually, and I will add a quick close second. The one that made me smile the more I think about it was when a funny haha guy Nelson was what's his face gets run over by the car and then becomes a ghost and goes up and Lisa was a little worried and he's like no it'll be better off this way.
No Ralph
gets transformed into a ghost.
Nelson's talking to Lisa
and
you hear Ralph downstairs and he shouts on Ralph, take 2 steps to your left. He gets hit by the car and you just see his ghost.
And he's like,
trust me, this helps us on so many levels.
And now the more I think about it, I'm just having flashbacks of Ralph, and I'm like, yep, yeah, that checks out. That's fun.
For me, I have 2 of them, just because obviously I have to pick one for the segments, and I'm gonna do the wood chipper, which was pretty freaking funny, and then the intro where Hans Moleman gets kicked, and it's like, this is what I get for voting for Kanye.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, most violent, darkest, whatever moment.
Fat bully haha guy gets thrown into a wood chipper, and then Lisa follows behind, only for him to tell her there was a better way to do it.
Yeah, I'd also say, and this is super quick, and the only reason this is even in consideration for me is just because of how non-violent and dark and gross this was when Homer Noir got stabbed by Noir Burns and you see his heart or whatever.
Nice.
It was quick, but yeah, for a while I thought that was going to be my pick just because it's literally anything.
I would have to pick by default Noir Homer shooting Ned in the head. And his, handicapped.
And we actually got a decapitated Ned.
Yeah, we did.
I literally was going to pick that. So.
He's like, I forgive you.
That felt shoehorned.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Oh my God, speaking of shoehorned.
Canon Kodos.
We didn't get a Canon Kodos.
Yeah, we did. They were on the ballot.
Intro.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that is a bullshit Canon Kodos. That is horseshit. That's awful. fuck this episode, man.
All right, on that note, worst segment of the episode. I'm going with the second one because what was that even about?
Simple. Fuck Disney.
I am definitely gonna go with the second one because it could have been something cool, but it was not at all.
Second one, mainly because there's just really no plot, and I'm really tired of just seeing multiple Homers running through town just eating everything. I'm fucking done seeing it.
Or Homer just eating something, and that's the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sucked.
All right, and with that, favorite segment of this one.
3.
It's 3.
3, definitely.
Yeah,
three,
that was
definitely 3.
That's just
the only
that's
one
not
that
even
tried.
a question.
3,
Yeah,
just because
3.
the deaths were kind of funny
Yeah.
and entertaining.
And even that one, I have many critiques
Yeah.
on, like logic leaps.
Yeah, if the
Even-
first segment was like actually gory, then that
first one
segment
could have
would've
been really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, it was bullshit.
Yeah.
You did arguably the worst, and that should be one of our things in the
Yeah.
fucking wrap up. Worst Kane and Kodos showing, and this is definitely the worst Kane and Kodos showing that
'Cause
I've ever seen. I've seen some bullshit shoehorns.
I can't even really like consider that a showing because like at least in the other episode they were physically there.
Yeah.
Here, this is like the only episode where there's just like an image of them.
Yeah, like
Every other episode, they're actually even if they weren't talking, their physical form.
it was
They were there.
There was there. Yeah, there was something going on, but yeah, nothing.
Yeah, those fucking bastards.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
wrap this motherfucker
Yeah.
up.
All right. So thank you, everyone. We made it to the end. 31 Treehouse of Horror episodes, 31 days in October, plus however many days it took us in November to get this up. Yeah, thank you so much. This was not easy to do. There were a lot of times where we didn't know if we would be able to make it in time, but we did. I think it was worth it.
And more importantly, we did it for you.
Yes.
We did it for the people that are listening to
All
this.
5 people.
Actually, a little bit more than that these days, but
Through the good episodes and bad episodes, at least talking about them with you guys was a high point, even when we had some pretty lousy episodes that we had to talk about.
dude, even when they were bad, we had really good discussions about how bad they were. So
Yeah.
it's overall it's a win.
I'm glad we did this.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Let's never attempt anything like this ever again.
I literally said that. I was like, I'm glad I did this.
So we're
I
not doing Goosebumps.
never want to do this again, and I need a fucking break from The Simpsons after this. I may just say, hey, if I may walk into your apartment, you got it on. I'm like, Brandon, just turn this off.
It's
Turn on
like
Malcolm
when your
in the Middle."
parents catch you smoking and they make you smoke 100 packs of cigarettes.
Yeah, that's what it did. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like.
Thank you all once again for listening to today's discussion about The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror 31. Be sure to listen to our regular podcast, The Nightmares Podcast, wherever podcasts are available. And be sure to check out our social media at Midwest Horror Network on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and
Slasher.
And of course, thank you so much for hanging out with us these entire 31 episodes. We really appreciate it. We would appreciate you even more if you were watching this on YouTube to stab that like button, smash that subscribe, and click that little dingy bell to be notified every time we drop amazing content on the Midwest Horror Network channel. And of course, if you are listening to this on Spotify or any other podcast streaming platform, press the little follow button to also be notified every time we drop audio content just like this. Thank you so much. We will see you next time. Come and follow us over to all of our other amazing content. Happy October and into November. We love you all. We did this for you. We'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas season, everyone.